How were you this fine day, Caleb?
Austin, I am off 40 millivanilligrams of Adderall right now, and I'm feeling fantastic.
Do you just take it in the morning and that's it?
Yeah, I just switched medications, and I feel way better, people out there. Oh,
Do drugs.
no, please don't. Don't do that.
Don't do drugs.
Take magnesium supplements, because I've also been taking those lately, and those are supposed to help with, like, if you're tired or not, or if you're, like, tired. A lot of times people say that it's the magnesium level.
Like you're low on magnesium?
Yeah. 'Cause it's like something to do with like just feeling good or whatever.
Interesting.
So yeah.
I don't know if well, my mom did think I had like, what's it called? It's not ADD or ADHD, but like things need to be in a perfect,
Like Asperger's?
Things need to be a certain way.
OCD?
OCD. My mom thought I had OCD when I was younger.
I could see that, honestly. I could definitely see you having like at least like a you're on the spectrum or something.
I definitely feel like I have some levels, because there'll be things I do throughout the day where, something's not in the order I would prefer it, and I'll just try to ignore it, and I'll be thinking to myself, it's only going to take 10 seconds. Just fix it.
Yeah. No, I get that 100%.
But, yeah.
Hi. Welcome to
Hi.
Balls and Blasters in 4K now.
Hopefully this time.
Yeah, hopefully. I lied last time. I don't think I said it, but yeah, we were supposed to be recording in 4K. We were not recording in 4K. So
This time we are.
Yes, we are. And it looks great. Hopefully you can see all of our pores and everything.
I did wash my beard today, so hopefully it looks good.
Oh, you just got a haircut since the last time we recorded as well.
I got some of them cut, yes.
Some of them, yes.
Yes.
Not all of them.
It was part of the costume I was wearing. I wanted to shave the sides because that's what Vikings would do.
Yes, and you went as a Viking. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys go on his Instagram, you shall see it.
You can see one picture on there. And then you also, because you wore your costume last episode.
Yes, I did. I did wear my costume.
You and Courtney looked great. You looked fantastic.
Thank you. Yes. She did like the makeup and everything. I just kind of showed up. I had the hair.
You had the easy part.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, Caleb, this is episode 14.
Episode 14.
So
it's if that my math does right, we're 2 away from 4 months, even though we've been doing this for 4 months technically.
Yes, 4 months worth of episodes. Yeah.
With the weeks we've missed, we are 4 months in.
It's kind of crazy. That's a third of a year.
Yes, we've been doing this for a third of the year and a third of like 2025.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. Before you know it, we're gonna be halfway there, and then I'm kind of excited to see how much better we are if we evolve at all by the time we hit 1 year.
God, I hope so. Imagine we're like still stumbling over our words and all that.
It's possible.
Yeah. Hey, before we get started too, I actually have a question for you.
What's that?
Since it's after Halloween,
Yeah.
are you a Christmas right after Halloween type of guy, or you gotta wait a little bit and ease yourself into that Christmas time?
I definitely have to wait. I like Christmas. Christmas is awesome, but I don't need to see anything Christmas related until December.
Really? See, I love, like, the sooner you can start Christmas, the better.
My least favorite song on the entire planet is "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey. It's early. I despise that. I'll watch my language. I just saw a TikTok earlier today that made me crack up about.
She's defrosting.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Christmas is great. I love Christmas. But yeah, I don't need to see it before Thanksgiving. I really don't.
That's valid. I understand.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. It just doesn't make sense. Like, I understand, especially because some people go all out with their Christmas decorations. I understand wanting to get them up before it gets really cold and not having to be outside while you do it. Like I understand that, so like I get it, but don't care.
That's valid. Well, again, welcome to Balls and Blasters, episode 14.
14.
Austin, what do we do here at Balls and Blasters?
Here at Balls and Blasters, we being myself, Austin, him, Caleb, take turns explaining to each other our different areas of interest, main areas of interest, I should say. I'm on the balls side, balls being sports and anything sports related. I like to pick a topic. I've had people ask me about this recently because it being the NFL season, the NBA is just starting, like in the NBA, there's a crazy betting cheating scandal going on. The NFL is the NFL. There's always crazy crap that happens in the NFL. Are you going to talk about that on the podcast? I'd love to, but I try to steer away from current topics. I did a little bit of that at the beginning. I decided it wasn't interesting enough to me because I feel like you could just turn on ESPN or, FS1, things like that, and get that kind of content. So I want to be different, at least for my section in that sense.
Yeah, the shift we kind of took went from less newsy, more informative.
Right, informative, historical in some aspects.
Very historical.
Which I think probably leans into our strengths a little bit more.
100%.
Yes.
And we don't need to go at the next news thing.
Right. And the immediate clicks would probably be great, but I don't know if it's long lasting or worth it, in my personal opinion.
That'd be tiring too.
Yes. So yes, I try to find a cool, fun, informative / historical sports topic, and I try to teach you, the viewer, and my partner Caleb, about whatever sport I choose for the week. And Caleb, what do you do?
Well, I'm the blaster side, and I'm here to teach you and Austin about anything more nerdy, geeky topics like video games, comic books, movies, like franchises, anything like that. We even dug into anime quite a few episodes ago, but just anything that's not necessarily sports, but also not mainstream, like Breaking Bad or something.
Yeah, right. Although sometimes the topics evolve into that. Oh yeah. Like last week when we talked about zombies, and I had to bring up The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. No, well, yeah, we include that. Because it was our spooky episode. Well, Austin, how do we start this?
We decide who goes first by a game of rock, paper, scissors, just like the ancestors would do it.
Exactly, and it's 1-1. Unless there's a tie, obviously.
Which actually hasn't happened yet, I don't think.
I think we had a tie.
Has it happened?
I think it's happened.
Okay.
A few times.
I have bad memory, sorry.
Yeah. Well, Austin, what's the current score?
Current score is I am in the lead with 9 wins to Caleb's 4, although you did win last episode.
Yes, I did. I technically have won 2 episodes in a well, no.
You won. You allegedly won a couple weeks ago.
Alleged. That should be 5. And I'll never forget this. But we lost that episode, so I
thought we weren't going to dwell on it.
Yeah, anymore. I'm still the rock paper scissors part. The rock paper scissors part I will dwell on.
Maybe a few months from now we can talk about the lost archives and
I think we'll have to
the lost scripture of balls and blasters.
I think we'll have to do that actually. That'd be kind of fun.
It would be.
So on shoot,
I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Oh. No! I thought about it. Oh.
Hooray!
All right, Austin, you're up first here.
It's funny. I was gonna go rock a second time.
See, it was so funny after you said we haven't tied yet, right?
Right.
Hey, ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Feels good to be the first member in double digits.
Yeah, and I am not even close.
Okay.
I would to reach double digits. Like, I would need to win 6 episodes after this. Episode 20. I need to win every single one to episode 20.
Be damn near Christmas at that point.
I think it would be past Christmas. No, it would almost be Christmas. You're right. Yeah. It would almost be Christmas. All right, Austin. What do you have for us today?
A drink of water.
And then while he's taking that drink of water, I will take this moment to recommend you guys check out our TikTok page, our Instagram. We are on Spotify, and we're on Apple Podcasts, and then the main platform, YouTube.
Yes, sir. Check us out, Balls and Blasters.
Yeah, please subscribe as well. We have been steadily growing, and we like to see that growth.
Right. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Tell your friends and loved ones. Tell us about that random person you met in the street, 2 a.m. after the bar.
Yeah.
Tell that guy too, or girl.
They might watch. They might.
They might remember. You never know.
Well, Austin, why don't you tell us what we're learning today?
Well, Caleb, it's been a long, long time since I've talked about baseball. So I figured I'd go back to that topic. I actually tried, just for the fans at home, I am workshopping NBA/basketball topic, because that's the one major sport I have not touched.
And that's the one I probably know most about.
So I'm workshopping one. I had like 3 or 4 different ideas that I was like, what if I just meld it into one? And I'm like, that seems like shortchanging each topic. So we'll shelve the NBA talk, basketball talk, hopefully until next week. But for now, we're going to go back to my comfort zone. We're going to talk about something baseball related. We're going to get real historical. Caleb, you better cross your fingers, dot your I's, cross your T's, knock on wood if you need to, because we're going to be cursed if you don't.
Cursed?
Cursed.
Ooh. I thought we're past Halloween.
As soon as I finished my notes, I was like, that would have been a good Halloween episode too.
No, your one last time was amazing. So I'm excited to hear this one though.
So, Caleb, if I say to you the term, the curse of the Bambino, does that mean anything to you?
Sandlot.
It's a good shout. I like where your head's at. Bambino is mentioned. The Bambino, the great Bambino, is mentioned in Sandlot. Do you know who the great Bambino is?
It's oh my gosh, I know his name.
The Sultan of SWAT.
I know his name. Babe Ruth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding.
I knew it. I don't know why that was escaping me.
So, Caleb, today we're going to talk about the curse of the Bambino, i.e., when the Red Sox sold Babe Ruth and his rights to the New York Yankees, and the Red Sox would never, ever, 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 ever win again, ever, until they did. So, what is the curse of the Bambino? It is an 86-year World Series championship drought for the Boston Red Sox.
That long?
86 years. And for all my Chicago Cubs fans out there, it's not even the longest World Series drought.
Oh, really?
Because
I know about the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs had like, I want to say it was 108 years.
That's
which is
insane. Yeah. That's more than most people will live.
Yeah. So, Curse of the Bambino. Named after Babe Ruth, like we just said, the great Bambino. So Babe Ruth, if you didn't know, his actual name is George Herman Ruth. He got the nickname Babe Ruth because when he signed with the Red Sox, he signed at a very young age. I don't even know if they were actually the Red Sox at that time, but it was the Boston baseball team. He signed with them at around 18, 19 years old, and babe is essentially a term for like young, a baby, youthful in that sense. And then Bambino, I believe, derives from Italian, and it means baby or young child as well. So he's Babe Ruth. He's the great Bambino.
The great baby.
Yes. So that's where the name comes from.
So was he like, 18, 19 is already like pretty young. Yeah, I feel like that doesn't happen nowadays very much.
Very, very rare. Very rare. You have to be a very special talent. Bryce Harper was around that age when he debuted in Major League Baseball. Juan Soto was around that age. But yes, very, very rare. Ruth started his career with the Boston Red Sox, and the way it worked at the time, there was no trades. It was more just, we're going to sell this player to you, and you'll give us money, and then we can use that money to buy other players.
So they were kind of more like actually objects
Just
for like
yeah.
selling.
Right. Essentially. So let's get into a little bit of precurse / background of all this. Babe Ruth played for the Red Sox. I wish I had the exact date when he got there, but okay. Let's just get into the precursor and the background. The Red Sox, from the inception of like the World Series back in 1903 up until 1918, were probably the most successful team in Major League Baseball. They had 5 of the first World Series titles that were handed out, including the very first one in 1903. Babe Ruth contributed to 3 of these Red Sox titles, one in 1915, 1916, and 1918.
Okay, I thought he was more of like a World War II era baseball player. That's crazy. He's that old.
Yes. And yes, I do that too sometimes. I'm like, wow, he's actually that old.
Pre-World War II. It's wild.
So 3 World Series titles that Babe Ruth contributed to for the Red Sox. He was mainly a pitcher at this time. He had pinch hitting appearances here and there. Baseball rosters were a little bit smaller back then. It was not uncommon for a pitcher to hit sometimes, which may be surprising to some baseball fans out there if you're unaware, because a lot of Babe Ruth's entire fame is being one of the greatest home run hitters of all time and playing for the New York Yankees. But before he even got to New York, he was an okay pitcher for the Red Sox. He wasn't like their ace or their stud or anything like that. But he contributed to 3 rings.
Would you say he was a relief pitcher?
I think he started. I think he was a starter, kind of, sort of. But it wasn't until after he was sold to the Yankees where he ditched pitching and was just strictly a hitter. So in this amount of time when the Red Sox were really in control of Major League Baseball, the New York Yankees were not good, believe it or not. The New York Yankees they were very mediocre from 1903 to 1918. They hadn't even played in a World Series up until that time, which is kind of wild because Babe Ruth. Sorry, go ahead.
I would consider them one of the better teams, like modern times.
And so the Red Sox won the World Series in 1918. The Red Sox owner Harry Frazee decided he wanted to sell Babe Ruth in 1920, so he sold them to the New York Yankees. And from 1920 up until 2004, which will be relevant at the end of our topic here, that's an 84-year span. The Yankees made 39 World Series and won 26 of them.
Jeez.
By contrast, since in that 84-year span after they sold Babe Ruth, the Red Sox made only 4 World Series over 84 years, and they lost all 4, each time in 7 games.
Oh, so 7 games is like they drew it out?
Yeah, so 7 games. The World Series is 7 games long, if necessary. It's a best of 7.
Gotcha.
Best of 7. So they got.
So you had to win 4 games.
Yes.
Okay.
And they went to Game 7 every single time, and the Red Sox blew it every single time.
So how were they like spaced out as well?
We will get there.
Okay.
So just kind of an idea of the Red Sox were really good. They had Babe Ruth. They sold Babe Ruth. The Yankees became the iconic franchise that they currently are. And the Red Sox weren't necessarily bad, but every time they were good, they were never good enough. The curse of the Bambino. So we've went over what it is, a little precurse and kind of the background of what's going on here. Let's get into some lore about the name itself. So the Curse of the Bambino, that title, that name, wasn't widely used until 1990. And the Red Sox weren't even considered a cursed team until 1986, when
only 60 years later.
1986, the Red Sox lost that World Series. We'll get there. A New York Times writer by the name of George VC. That was the first time the Red Sox were labeled as cursed in that little article that he wrote about them. But in 1990, a Boston sports writer by the name of Dan Shaughnessy wrote a book called The Curse of the Bambino. Why did he name it The Curse of the Bambino? He was inspired. There's a chapter in the book that's inspired by a letter written to Dan Shaughnessy by Reverend Daryl Berger, who lives in the Boston area. He'd been alive for a long, long time. He'd experienced a lot of Red Sox futility, and this letter essentially described the Red Sox futility in that of a curse. And I actually have a portion of that letter that I want to read to you because I think it's kind of interesting. Reverend Berger, he's essentially comparing the Red Sox inability to win the World Series to The House of the Seven Gables, which, if you've never heard of that, it's a romance, gothic style novel, and the main character in that novel is he's always running into bad luck, bad fortune, and then it kind of spawns in his brain, oh, I'm cursed. So Reverend Berger writes, in both cases, meaning House of the Seven Gables and the Boston Red Sox, you have cursed family because of evil that had been done, and it's passed down several generations later. I think of the selling of Babe Ruth as the sin that cannot be atoned for. There hasn't been a savior that can come along and make that atonement. The Sox over and over again keep paying for that sin. Harry Frazee, the owner of the Boston Red Sox at the time, sins against Sox fans by selling Ruth. This severs trust between fans and ownership that is never healed. A curse is also merely a folk-wise way of explaining the unexplainable, but who wants to leave it at that? So is the Old Testament. The key for the curse to be lifted is acknowledgement that both sin and curse exist and why. In the same way, an alcoholic or any dysfunctional relationship must be named before it can heal. The great danger of a curse is that the closer it gets to being overcome, the greater the anxiety becomes. Anxiety causes bad things to happen, and the curse continues.
So he's essentially saying, because keeps overshadowing the Red Sox, and we gotta fix this. It just becomes worse and worse.
It just becomes worse and worse, and as the years go on, when you can't seal the deal and finally win another World Series, each generation, each team, it seems like that anxiety and that pressure gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gets tougher and tougher and tougher to overcome that. Hence the idea of, oh man, we're just cursed. And like, obviously curses aren't real. Unless if you believe in that, fair enough. Good for you. But
they might be.
They could be. I mean, who knows? I'm open to the idea. Why not? So that's kind of where Dan Shaughnessy gets his idea to name this book The Curse of the Bambino. And then some more literal background, some more literal lore, easy for me to say. So the Red Sox owner at the time, Harry Frazee, he was actually really good friends with the owners of the New York Yankees. And he was not just an owner of a baseball club, but he was also a theatrical producer.
He had a little theater kid in him.
It's widely believed that the players that Frazee decided to sell to the Yankees and to other teams, as well as the mortgage plan for Fenway Park itself, Fenway Park being where the Red Sox play baseball games at, the entire purpose of those acts was to fund his theatrical productions.
Oh.
A lot of people thinking this guy doesn't care about the baseball team. He's just trying to use it as a way to make money for his other interests.
So that's part of the curse.
That's when Reverend Berger's talking about Frazee is sinning against his team. That's kind of what he's alluding to.
And he did so much that it took him 84 years.
84 years, yes. And so Ruth was sold in 1920. The Red Sox last won a World Series in 1918. So if 84-year curse, 86-year curse, semantics at that point. All right, Caleb. Now that we have some lore and some background on what the Curse of the Bambino is, I'd like to go over some of these cursed moments that happened between 1918 and 2004.
I would love to hear some.
Did you have any questions or any clarifying thoughts about what we've learned so far?
Let's jump into this.
Let's jump right in. All right. So for the visual listeners, I have 3.5 pages of notes here, and I have one page dedicated. Look how full that is. That's a lot of notes.
All in red.
All in red because I ran out of black ink. That is how many cursed moments have happened over this 86-year span. So let's start. Remember, Red Sox won a World Series in 1918. They sold Babe Ruth in 1920. We're going to jump already to 1946, which is post-World War II. This is the first time the Red Sox even made a World Series.
Oh, so it took them over 20 years.
Yes. 38 years between World Series appearances, which would be 36 years since they sold Babe Ruth.
Oh, dang.
So it's been a long time, Caleb. Or, I'm sorry. I did my math wrong there. That would be 28 years since their last World Series appearance and 26 years since they sold Babe Ruth. Still, long time.
Older than me.
Older than you. In 1946, the Red Sox would meet the St. Louis Cardinals in Game 7 of in the World Series. The series would go 7 games, and the Cardinals scored the game-winning run in the bottom of the 8th inning because the Red Sox, it was like a hit-and-run style play where the Cardinals had a runner on base. The batter put the ball in play, runners trying to run all the way home, and the Red Sox just didn't have a good relay throw. They didn't play good enough defense. A lot of Boston fans criticized their players for saying they could have done better in this play. The run scores, and the Red Sox end up losing the World Series in 7 games. And also, another quick fact about this 1946 World Series. Have you heard of Ted Williams by chance?
I have not.
Ted Williams is arguably the greatest hitter the game has ever seen. He's the last hitter to have a 400 batting average over a full season, which is
pretty good.
Really good. This is his only World Series that he ever played in. He played for the Red Sox his whole career, and he didn't play very well. So kind of just a bad outing. You know, when you have Teddy Ball Game on your team, you expect to win, and the Red Sox couldn't get it done. But no worries, they would have more chances. In 1948, Boston tied for first place in the American League with the Cleveland Indians at the time. They're now the Cleveland Guardians. Little background on the playoff system for this time. There wasn't a lot of teams, and so there's American League, which has half the teams. There's the National League, which has the other half. All you had to do was finish number 1 in your league, and you go to the World Series.
Okay. So you just had to be the best out of your league, and then you'd face off the best of the other league.
Correct. Well, in 1948, Boston tied for best in their league with Cleveland, which set up the very first ever one-game playoff to decide who goes to the World Series. And the Red Sox would lose that game.
Of course.
The Red Sox would lose. Cleveland would go on to win that World Series.
Oh. That could have been us.
It could have been us. 1949, the very next year.
Oh.
The Red Sox lose the American League to the Yankees on the very last game of the season. The very last game of the season, they had a chance to go to the World Series. They lost it to their arch rival. The Yankees would go on to win the next 5 World Series.
So not only are we going to beat you, we're going to keep showing off on how good we are.
We're going to fast forward to 1967. Boston follows up a horrendous 1966 season with, out of nowhere, really, really good season. And they made the World Series for the second time since selling Babe Ruth, once again playing the St. Louis Cardinals, whom they lost to in 7 games. I believe the famous Bob Gibson, one of the best pitchers of all time, was the winning pitcher in Game 7 of that series. 1972, this is kind of an interesting one. There was a players' strike at the beginning of 1972. They were not happy with the owners. A few games in the first couple weeks of the season were canceled, and the commissioner at the time decided he did not want to make any of those games up. We're starting here. We're going all the way through to the end. Well, the very last series of the season was the Boston Red Sox versus the Detroit Tigers. And Boston needed to win 2 of these games to clinch the division. The playoff had expanded at this time, where now there's divisions, and you need to win the division to make an expanded playoff. Well, the Detroit Tigers won 2 out of 3 games to end the season against the Red Sox. Why does this matter? There was canceled games. The Red Sox had 1 more canceled game than the Detroit Tigers did. The Tigers finished the season with an 86-70 record. The Red Sox had an 85-70 record.
So if they would have played that one game they won, they could have tied.
Could have had at least a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
But fortune was not in their favor. Once again, we suck again. 1975. The Red Sox make the World Series for a 3rd time since the sale of Babe Ruth. And they ran into what is now known as the Big Red Machine, Cincinnati Reds. They were very good in the 70s. They won a couple World Series titles. Have you heard of Pete Rose?
I don't. That's a name sounds familiar. Don't know who he is.
He's the all-time hit king. Most hits in Major League Baseball history.
Over Barry Bonds?
Correct. He was on the Cincinnati Big Red Machine team.
Was he also on steroids?
No, but he did a lot of very other not so good things that we can't mention on this podcast. So the Red Sox were up. So 1975, Cincinnati Reds, Boston Red Sox. This is considered one of the greatest World Series of all time. It was a very back and forth series. The Red Sox were down 3-2. And in Game 6, Carlton Fisk, their catcher, hit a walk-off home run. You can watch a video of this. It's a very famous home run where Carlton Fisk hits the ball down the left field line, and it's going towards the Green Monster, and he's essentially like waving the ball fair, trying to push it inside the foul pole so it's a fair ball. Fair ball, walk-off home run. Oh my gosh, this is the year that the Red Sox are going to break the curse. Game 7, Boston builds a 3-0 lead. Things are looking great. However,
the curse.
They would blow that lead in the top of the 9th. Joe Morgan, Hall of Famer, singled to drive in Ken Griffey Sr. Yes, Ken Griffey Jr.'s dad was a very great Major League Baseball player. And the Red Sox would blow a 3-0 lead and lose the game and lose the World Series.
That's like part of that, like the anxiety. Like, guys, we could do this. We could do this.
We can do this.
I bet you the nerves were insane.
I can't even imagine. And I mentioned 3-0 lead. Keep that in mind. It'll come back later. 1978. The Red Sox were up 14 games. They had a 14-game lead in their division against the New York Yankees. They would blow that lead to the New York Yankees by getting swept in a 4-game series by the New York Yankees. It is known in baseball lore as the Boston Massacre because they got throttled in all 4 games. The Red Sox, though, showed some grit and some drive, and they fought all the way back and forced a 1-game playoff with the New York Yankees. Winner goes to the playoffs with a chance to represent their team in the World Series. In this 1-game playoff, it was a very close game, but a man by the name of Bucky Dent.
Bucky Dent.
Great baseball name. He is not a power hitter. Never known for his power whatsoever. And he hits a game-deciding 3-run home run to send the Yankees to the playoffs.
The curse just keeps going. It keeps building.
It just keeps building. It keeps finding different ways.
This scrawny little guy. I'm guessing he's scrawny.
Yes, he was very.
Just hits a wild home run. How can you predict that?
Can't predict it. Bucky Dent is essentially a swear word in Boston sports culture. Yeah, no bueno, not good. The Yankees, of course, would go on to win that World Series. Now we get to 1986. We had mentioned 1986 before. This is the first year where, maybe the Red Sox are cursed. The Red Sox met the New York Mets in the World Series. They were up 3-2. And Caleb, not only were they 1 out away from winning this World Series, they were 1 strike away.
Are you serious? So like
from winning this World Series.
So like even like a stray foul ball.
Could have been anything. It could have been literally anything. But their relief pitcher that was in the game in the 9th inning blew a 2-run lead because of a wild pitch. Runner came around to score and tie the game. And another very famous clip that you can find, a great baseball player by the name of Bill Buckner is playing first base.
A lot of bucks.
And a sharp ground ball is hit towards Bill Buckner playing first base, and he shuffles his feet and kind of either takes his eye off the ball or just missteps, and the ball goes underneath his glove down the line. Mets player comes around and scores to win Game 6, and all of a sudden force Game 7. There's an iconic, I believe Vin Scully, who's an iconic baseball broadcaster, is on the call. That one hurts as a Red Sox fan. And Bill Buckner, still to this day, catches a lot of flack for that, which is really unfair because he's only remembered for the one time he messed up, but he's not remembered as the good baseball player that he was.
Also, too, it's like, I'm sure other people have messed up. It's just like he
Right.
happened to mess up in a crucial moment.
In a very crucial moment. Yeah. Where are we at? There we are. So, but it's not all lost. It's still got to go to Game 7.
Mm-hmm.
When Game 7, winner takes all. The Red Sox would build yet another 3-0 lead, only to blow it and lose Game 7 of the World Series. Again, 3-0. We want to keep that in mind.
They do not seem like they have great luck.
No,
It's almost
no.
like they have a curse or something.
They really don't. Now, after that, so now we get to really from 1988 up until 1999. So an 11, 12-year stretch here. The Red Sox were good, never great. This is highlighted by the fact that in both 1988 and 1990, the Red Sox would get to the American League Championship Series. Whoever wins the American League Championship Series represents the American League in the World Series. Both times, both years, they get swept in 4 games by the Oakland A's. Oakland A's were a very good baseball team at this time. And then in 1995, which was the next time they made the playoffs, they were swept in 3 games by the Cleveland Indians in the American League Divisional Series, the series before the American League Championship Series. This is a 13-game postseason losing streak, which at the time was an MLB record.
Oh, so they lost 13 games in a row.
In the postseason, yes.
Oh, in the postseason.
In the postseason. It was not good. It was a very, very, very bad time to be a Red Sox fan.
I think after that 12th game, I feel like there's gonna be a point where you're like, screw this, I'm done. You guys can take it.
How much longer can this go on? But it only gets worse. It only gets worse. It gets so much worse. In 1998, they once again met the Cleveland Indians, but they lost to them 3-1. See you later from the playoffs. 1999, the Red Sox are back. They're even better. They meet the New York Yankees once again in the American League Championship Series. Well, the Yankees completely destroyed the Red Sox 4-1 in that 1999 American League Championship Series. This was a series in the middle of what is considered probably the last real baseball dynasty, because the Yankees won the World Series in 1996, 1998, 1999, and 2000. So 4 rings in a span of 5 years.
Jeez. Like they did when they sold Babe Ruth.
Very similar. Very, very similar. So that's a period of futility from the late 80s to the 2000 era for the Red Sox. Now we get to 2003, and this is our last cursed moment. However, it is especially we were alive for 2003. Obviously, we don't remember it, but I would say that the Bill Buckner moment in the 1986 World Series is probably the one moment Red Sox fans think about the most. However, 2003 is like right there as like, how the hell did that just happen? 2003, the Red Sox were very, very good. The Yankees were still had that main core of their dynasty together. We get to a deciding Game 7 at Yankee Stadium, Red Sox Yankees. It's not a 3-0 lead, but the Red Sox have a 5-2 lead. Still a 3-run lead. In the 8th inning, the Red Sox manager at the time decided to leave in their star pitcher, Pedro Martinez, a little bit too long. And the Yankees would get a flurry of hits. They'd rally. They'd tie the game 5-5. And we would end up eventually in the 11th inning where Red Sox starter Tim Wakefield, who is a knuckleballer, it's all hands on deck in the postseason. So they're like, okay, Tim Wakefield's our best option to put in the game. He throws a knuckleball. It didn't knuckle very well. And Aaron Boone promptly sends it 400 feet into the left-field bleachers for a walk-off home run, sending the Yankees to the World Series.
They can't catch a break.
Nothing like losing Game 7 to your rival on a walk-off home run. The Yankees would go on to lose this World Series to an upstart Florida Marlins team. So, just kind of a changing of the guard, perhaps. Aaron Boone, the man who hit this walk-off home run to send the Yankees to the World Series, is the current New York Yankees manager.
Oh, cool.
A lot of Yankee fans, and even myself as a Red Sox fan, would tell you that he only has that job because of that home run. Even though the Yankees are very good. Anyways, okay, so those are our cursed moments. Let's quickly wrap up by talking about breaking the curse.
It's 2004.
It is 2004. Good memory, Caleb.
Yes. I remembered it from 30 minutes ago.
We had just come off a 2003 season where the Red Sox, they had put together this really good baseball team, one that is competing toe-to-toe with the New York Yankees, and it's still just not good enough. So what do the Red Sox do? They get a little bit of backup, a little more juice to their baseball team. Let's run this back. Let's see what happens. Well, they would get to the American League Championship Series, and guess who they face? The New York Yankees.
But this time, it's different.
Kind of. ALCS 2004. The Yankees would walk into the series and take a commanding 3-0 lead in a 7-game series against the Boston Red Sox. You need to win 4, Caleb.
And they're already down 3.
They're already down 3. Essentially, it's win or go home. And Game 3, by the way, the final score at Fenway Park, the Yankees beat the Red Sox 19-8. So not only is every single Red Sox fan feeling like, holy crap, this curse is real. Like, morale is in the toilet. Like, nobody thinks that anything positive is happening here. Well, in the hours leading up to Game 4, Dan Shaughnessy, remember our friend Dan Shaughnessy? He wrote the book, The Curse of the Bambino. He's a Boston sports writer. He's on the field taking in the scenes before the game. And he decides to talk to outspoken Red Sox first baseman Kevin Millar. And Dan Shaughnessy is basically telling Millar, like, you guys got no chance of this thing. You know that, right? Like, this thing's over. And Kevin Millar, in the most Kevin Millar way, just basically tells him, why not us? Why not us? Why not us, and don't let us win tonight? Why not us? Don't let us win tonight. And I think the quote is, we got Curt Schilling in Game 5. We got Pedro Martinez in Game 6. In Game 7, anything can happen. Basically saying, if we're going to do it, this is how we're going to do it. And Dan Shaughnessy's just like, yeah, okay, dude, whatever. Well, the Red Sox and the Yankees would fight a classic Game 4. And eventually it is 4-3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. And Mariano Rivera, the best closer in the history of the game, is on the mound for the New York Yankees to close this thing out. And who's up at the plate? None other than Kevin Millar. And Kevin Millar, he was a good baseball player, wasn't great. Mariano Rivera should be able to take care of him. Well, Kevin Millar works a walk. A very tense, like 5 or 6 pitch walk. Millar gets to first base. The Red Sox decide they're going to pinch run for Kevin Millar because he's not very fast. Dave Roberts, a utility player, speed demon, comes on, play first base. Everybody in that stadium, on each team, the announcers, the fans at home, everybody knows Dave Roberts is going to try and steal second base.
Yeah.
And he almost gets picked off at first base by Mariano Rivera, but it's like very, very close. Umpire calls him safe. Roberts takes off on the very next pitch, and he is in by like the length of a finger. He is safe, but not by much. He gets in there. Bill Miller fights off a single into center field. Dave Roberts comes around and scores. David Ortiz hits a walk-off home run. A couple innings later, they go to Game 5. So the Red Sox are still alive. They go to Game 5. The game happens. David Ortiz hits another walk-off base hit. This is kind of where the legend of David Ortiz really starts.
I know that name.
Yes. Yeah. Slugger.
Mm-hmm.
Big home run guy. Sends the series back to New York in Game 6. Game 6 was a good game. There's an Alex Rodriguez controversy in there. You know who Alex Rodriguez is?
I can't say that I do.
Former slugger for the New York Yankees. He's now a part owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. But at the time, he was kind of a shithead, to say the least. And he tried to cheat in that game, and it didn't work out for him. He got caught.
Oh, nice.
Not the first time he'd get caught cheating. And then the Red Sox would blow out the Yankees in Game 7. There was no drama in Game 7. They just smacked them. I think Johnny Damon had 2 grand slams in that game. In that Game 7.
Holy crap!
And it was also Game 7 at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, so they just put it where it hurt.
So it was legit the payback of all payback. The first and to this day only team in Major League Baseball history to complete a 3-0 comeback in a best-of-7 series. That didn't happen before, hasn't happened since. The Red Sox still, a lot of people, oh, we beat the Yankees. It's like, yes, you did. That's part of the curse, but the other part of the curse is you haven't won a World Series yet still. Mm-hmm. And they get to the World Series, and who do they face? None other than the St. Louis Cardinals, who were responsible for denying the Red Sox 2 different World Series in 1948 and 1960...
68?
67. Well, Caleb, I think beating the Yankees did lift the curse officially because the Red Sox steamrolled the St. Louis Cardinals 4-0.
Oh, you gotta feel good after that too. You're like, okay, there's no chance we lose now.
Red Sox finally win the World Series in 2004, ending an 86-year drought. The curse is over. The final out of the World Series in 2004, Edgar Renteria hits a soft grounder back to the pitcher. Keith Folk, who lobs over to the first baseman. Red Sox win the World Series. Edgar Renteria wore the number 3. The very same number worn by Babe Ruth.
So it's full circle.
And that, Caleb, is the curse of the Bambino.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That, I love that. 86 years.
The crazy, crazy stories that baseball allows us. That's one of my main things I really, really enjoy about baseball is that there is lore and there is history, and the game has evolved and changed so many times, and there's so many crazy. Baseball is a game where literally anything can happen. You can go to a game and see something you've never seen before, And an 86-year curse certainly fits that bill. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
I was like, it's kind of it's weird how poetic it was.
Yeah.
Like, also too, it's like, well, the reason you're losing is because this guy did this thing, and that curse kept building and building, and the way to break it was to beat back the thing that started the curse.
The evil empire.
Exactly.
That's what the Yankees at that time were known as.
Oh, the evil empire?
Yes.
Oh. I know that.
Yes, the 90s, 2000s Yankees, the evil empire. Yes, it's incredibly poetic that the Red Sox commit this sin per se by trading one of their players to the Yankees, and of course, who do they have to beat? The Yankees in order to end it, and then they have to beat the Cardinals, and the Cardinals denied them twice from ending the curse.
It's like a literal hero's journey.
Yeah,
redemption arc.
a redemption arc, a hero's journey in the face of a baseball franchise. It won't be next episode. It probably won't be. Maybe the next time baseball comes around, because I had a lot of fun researching this. But there, like I had mentioned before, there is a curse that is longer. It is the Chicago Cubs. It is the curse of the Billy Goat.
See, I never knew about that. I knew about that one, but I never knew that it was that long either.
Yes.
I remember being in high school for my psychology teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You had him too.
Yes.
And he was a huge fan. And like when they won, he was like celebrating. Yeah.
Fly the W, baby. Yes. Well, Caleb, now that story time with Austin is done, I am very curious to sit back, relax, and listen to what you have for us today.
Well, Austin, funnily enough, I was debating on what I could talk about today, and I remember going back to our first two episodes when we were more of we tried out the news side more than just the actual information side, and I was thinking, superhero movies. I've talked about superhero movies before.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone through the history of those superhero movies and how they became so popular.
All right. I see where you're getting at here.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, superhero movies have been a thing for a while, but they've only been popular for a few decades.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess I didn't really care to pay attention to superhero movies really until, Marvel got really, really popular.
Exactly. And that's pretty much the start of it. I mean, there's a couple outliers, but we're going to get into here today, but that's really when they actually started gaining popularity. Mm-hmm. And so I thought I'd just go through the history. I have just like kind of the big movies throughout the eras. Mm-hmm. And I got some fun facts as well.
All right, Caleb, I'm interested. Blow my mind with your superhuman stories.
All right, so you know the two big guys, Marvel and DC. Mm-hmm. Right, they're two. Just think of DC as Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Marvel as Spider-Man, Wolverine, Iron Man, Captain America. Mm-hmm. You know those guys,
right?
But you didn't know, Marvel didn't really do superhero movies. They kind of struggled, actually, for a very long time, which is very odd considering what the MCU, I guess, was. Was.
Yeah, because it's a little different now in the current moment than it really was.
Like 2018, peak.
Chef's kiss.
But so we have these two kind of like cereals. Do you know what a cereal is?
Well, Caleb, I know what two cereals are, and I have a feeling it's neither of the things that you're thinking of.
I mean, it is. It does involve breakfast.
Oh, wow, really?
But so cereals are kind of like those Saturday morning cartoons.
Okay, I know what you're getting at here.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, comics have always been big. That post World War II and post World War II era, where comics, I think it's called the golden age of comics. Is it? Yeah, the golden age, or is it the Bronze Age? I think it's the golden age, where just post World War II, people were looking to rebuild, and those comic books were helping a lot of children and adults unknowingly at the time just like kind of cope with that post World War II era here. And so serials are they're not the Saturday morning cartoons, by the way. They're more of radio shows.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I think I didn't do too much research on what serials exactly were, but I think they're interchangeable on that, either radio shows or those cartoons here. I think they're more towards those radios though.
Gotcha.
But yeah, there was a Superman one in, I think it was 1948, and then a Batman and Robin one in 1949. And these kind of like have a radio host start talking about the amazing adventures of Superman. And actually a lot of the Superman lore that we know today is from the radio shows in the serials.
Interesting. That's really cool.
Yes. And like, so they would, I think Kryptonite was never in the comics, but it was from the radio show. And so
I didn't know 3 Doors Down was that old.
If you still call me Superman.
Another music reference for Austin.
So yeah, these radio shows and kind of like early morning cartoons kind of jump started it. They're animated, but they are the base of. I gotta start off right at the beginning. They're the bases of what we get. We're talking about movies, but I just want to, very cool that they had these way back in the before the 50s.
Well, it's cool that even to this day they still draw back to information that came from there.
Exactly. And I think, funnily enough, too, there are some powers they don't keep. Like Superman can shoot out a little Superman.
Did not know that.
Yep. And that became a comic too. It's really funny. But all right, so we're gonna jump ahead. There are some tried superhero movies, very little, but I want to start at when they past all that, but we have Superman the movie, which is kind of the first actual big movie that's a superhero movie. This was made in 1978. So they really hadn't made superhero movies like this before. The budgets now. I'll go into the budgets actually of the average budget of superhero movies. But so this was 1978, and it costed them $55 million to make in 1978 time.
That seems like a lot of freaking money for 1978.
It really is. The production value was insane, but it paid off because luckily they made $300 million at the box office, roughly.
ROI is pretty good there.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, wow, superhero movies are actually kind of profitable.
Yeah, someone's light bulb just went off.
Mm-hmm. So they're like, wow, we can do this. A lot of failed movies after this. There's the Fantastic Four one that never got released. There's a Spider-Man movie that was really bad. A Captain America movie that was really bad. There was the Wonder Woman show was really good though.
That's nice.
But all these kind of like didn't capture that the way Superman did.
Right. It seems like like a bang boom type of start, then it's just the follow-ups are just like what's going cheap imitation kind of thing.
Exactly. But luckily 2 years later they're like, wow, Superman did really well, let's make another Superman movie. Oh yeah, this also stars Christopher Reeves. He's like, do you know who that is at all?
Yeah, he's like, I guess I don't know if he's the OG Superman, but he's like, he is Superman.
Yeah, he's the OG Superman. He's probably what most people think of when they think of Superman. Like, I think if you're over the age of 30, that's who you think of.
Right.
You think of Superman. And yeah, so he's like huge, and it's directed by Richard Donner. And yeah, also in these movies, they kind of uh did a lot of innovation and revolution.
Evolution.
Evolution, yeah, sorry. Yeah. So wire work was done, but not to this extent to like get people to fly and stuff like that. There's blue screen technology which was used in weather reports and stuff now. But yeah, they're like, what if we tried this out for a movie?
Right.
And it worked out really well.
Yeah. Kind of crazy. It's like right in front of your face, but you don't think to try it.
No, exactly. It's kind of like the thing of like, well, how do you make that Godzilla sound? You rub a leather glove across a guitar string.
I didn't know that's how you made that sound. That's really cool information.
I'll have to do
actually.
I'll have to do a monster movie episode. Yeah, it's like how do you make that sound? Oh, that's how you make that sound. So it's like oh, how do you get this technology? How do you make it look like Superman's flying?
I want to know how many different objects they rubbed against a guitar.
Oh, dude, have you ever watched the video on like sound design?
No, I haven't, but that kind of little tidbit there gives me an idea of the rabbit hole it could be.
Dude, half the sounds you hear are the sound designers like catching stuff in like their backyard or running around their town. Like there's I'll give it another example in Bethesda games. All the like the child and baby noises, like the toddler and baby noises, are voiced by the son of the game director Todd Howard, because it was just like easier to do that than like go out and find a child and get them to do something. He's like talk.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just like stuff like sound design's like so like you have to really be creative,
right,
in that,
which is probably why it's. Or they're in that position for a reason, and obviously that's part of being creative is how do we come up with this sound.
Exactly. So back to the superhero movies. All right, so we have those two. There's a few more Superman movies that came out in that time. I think there were 4 in total. The other 2 aren't that important, but they kind of shows that hey, Superman is really the only proven one to do it right now. That is. Oh, okay. Well, there is that. Okay, I did forget to include this. I do apologize, but this is because it was more of a show than a movie. There's that Adam West Batman as well.
Okay.
This is before that, but that's a show. That wasn't an actual movie.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lesser budget and stuff. It wasn't that movie. Because we're focusing on movies today. I will do a show sometime, but skipping forward to 1989. We have a little bit more revolution with Tim Burton's Batman, starring Michael Keaton.
I've heard of these names.
Mm-hmm. And so yes, you know who Michael Keaton is at all?
I know the name and I know it's related to Batman, but I really can't place his face if I'm being honest.
Do you know? You remember Spider-Man, Vulture? Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Oh.
The main bad guy, Vulture.
Yeah.
That was him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Michael Keaton.
Got you. Okay.
So, Michael Keaton. A lot of people would say there's a debate between whose people's favorite Superman are, whose people's favorite Batman are. People love Michael Keaton's Batman. They also we'll get to him in Christian Bale's Batman.
I was gonna say Christian Bale, truth or stand up.
We'll get to him. A lot of people. I have to mention it because a lot of people love Michael Keaton as Batman. He did a pretty good job. And you'll notice a trend here. So, a few years later, 1992, they did another Batman, and this is Batman. Batman Returns, starring, you guessed it, Michael Keaton again.
Dun-dun-dun.
So yeah, if you haven't noticed here though, they have a Christopher Reeves Superman. They have a Michael Keaton Batman. These two never meet.
Like the people themselves, or just the characters?
No, the
themselves?
characters. Like they never meet in a movie or anything like that. Even though it's established by this time that Batman and Superman are best friends in the comics. Like they are. There's a comic called World's Finest, which is still, I think it's still going, and it's still one of the top selling comic books or like a comic book series of all time. And it's just Batman and Superman together. That's all the comics are. So it's well established that these two interact with each other a lot in the comic space. But in the movie space, no one ever thought to do this kind of extended universe yet.
Just quick clarification for me and maybe for the viewers. Leading up to these Michael Keaton Batman movies and these Christopher Reeve Superman movies, as far as like just fans of the comics and superheroes in general, in the DC universe, were Superman and Batman like the two big ones, the most popular ones?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I would say Superman has always been and probably will always be the most popular superhero of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's that debate of is it Spider-Man or Batman at number 2.
Gotcha.
Superman's always going to be at number 1.
I'm just curious because I asked that because it kind of makes sense to me that if there's any superhero movies that are going to take off, it would probably be the ones that are popular.
Exactly. And also too, Batman and Superman are 1930s. Like they started out in the 1930s.
Mm-hmm.
So they've had so many years of gaining popularity. Because you didn't know, Spider-Man is a 1960
He came
character
along quite a bit later.
Yeah, exactly. So it's I would personally say Spider-Man is more popular than Batman. Personally,
I do see why there's a debate, but I
yes,
can definitely see it.
And you can tell me I'm wrong, and I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you.
Yeah.
On that, I just know the top 3 are Superman, Spider-Man, and Batman. It's debated on who's number 2 and who's number 3, but number 1 is Superman, and you cannot deny me on that one.
I think if you're disagreeing, I would probably you're just being contrarian.
Exactly.
You know,
like you can make an argument, but I don't think it'd be a very solid argument. Anyways, so we get these two. You notice not a whole lot of Marvel movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a whole lot, but we get Batman, the first Batman. This costed $35 million, and it grossed $411 million.
So cost less than the first Superman movie, but made more.
Yes, and I do think that's just Batman's a lot easier to make less expensive
because he doesn't have to be flying all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, you don't have to have him be on wires and the blue screen in the background. You can do a lot more practical effects.
Right.
Whereas Superman is like, Superman's cosmic. He can go into space, so it's a lot harder to do all that.
No, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Still very impressive numbers.
Exactly. So Austin, do you know what the first mainstream Marvel movie is that kind of was like a success?
I'm gonna guess here. I think it's a good guess. It might be wrong, but would it be The Incredible Hulk?
No, it would not. So there's the show. I think that was the 80s. Okay, what's the Hulk guy's name? I can't remember. Louis Ferrigno.
That's yes.
Ferrigno, yes, Louis Ferrigno. Sorry, I butchered that name. Yes, there's that show with him.
Mm-hmm.
But
that might be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, but I will actually get to the Hulk in a second here. He's gonna be a very quick brush by. But can you take another guess? I'll give you one more guess because I know you're not gonna, or you might not get it. But
yeah, shoot, I'm trying to think because I don't think Iron Man was really that popular of a character until Robert Downey Jr. I know you had mentioned there's a Captain America movie that flopped. I'm trying to think. I mean, I guess I don't know how old. Would it be Spider-Man?
You're very close. So a little pretext for this.
Mm-hmm.
So Marvel in the 90s, I think it was the 90s, they were going bankrupt.
Oh,
and
so it was bad.
Yeah, they were like on the verge of bankruptcy. And they're like, well, we could just go bankrupt and close down, or we could sell off a bunch of our movie rights to these characters. And then, because, we would get some money from that, and maybe having these movies come out would make people buy more comics.
Mm-hmm.
So they sold X-Men and the Fantastic Four to Fox. They sold Spider-Man to Sony.
Mm-hmm.
They sold Universal, or they sold in the Incredible Hulk to Universal and Namor to Universal. That one's a little iffy because it's technically there can't be a solo movie,
Right.
but they can appear in movies. That one was a little different. And I'm just realizing now, I forgot to mention, or I forgot to write down in my notes, who this character that we're going to talk about got sold to. I do believe it's Fox, though. You know it's Fox. We're gonna the first successful Marvel movie came out in 1998. It was Blade.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
The Vampire Slayer. Yes. Blade. 1998, and you wouldn't think of it as a superhero movie either. It's rated R. It's very different
Mm-hmm.
than superhero movies now. Yeah, for Marvel, this was like a saving grace. It cost $45 million to make, and it made $131 million at the box office. Wasn't insane numbers,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like, hey, Marvel can do it too.
Right. There's something there. Proof of concept.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and also this was like, until Deadpool, like this was like these movies. There's 3 Blade movies. They were like the only R-rated superhero movies for a really long time.
Maybe that's part of the reason why. Maybe just because it stood out and it was so different than really what anybody's used to. You know?
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's kind of hard too because Blade is like as a character as well. He works in the Marvel universe and outside the Marvel universe.
Okay.
Have you ever? I'm guessing you've never seen the Blade movies.
I know.
They're really good. First off, they're really good. Wesley Snipes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was actually Blade in the Deadpool Wolverine movie.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
So yeah, like because it's more vampire focused
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And he's like a half vampire
Right.
kind of character. So yeah, it works without the whole superhero thing, but it was technically a superhero movie, and it did pave that way for Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're going to move on to, can you guess what's next? It's not Spider-Man.
We're in the early 2000s
Yep,
kind of range.
we are going to be the year 2000.
The year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. No, I don't really have I don't know. Is it the Hulk?
No, it's still not the Hulk.
I'm just going to keep saying. I know there's an, I don't know how old, there's one Hulk movie I've seen.
2003.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I remember seeing a list of like all this like MCU, how to watch all the movies and whatnot. And
That
it's
one's-
like you need to watch one of these Hulk movies.
That one's technically not part of the MCU.
Correct, but
Yeah.
it was kind of like you don't need to watch it, but you should watch
Mhm.
it just so you know who the Hulk is.
So,
So continue. Sorry.
you know, you're good. So we got the X-Men movies.
Yes, I never really got too into the X-Men when I was young.
I loved these movies.
Yeah.
I loved them. I love Spider-Man more. I mean I wasn't even born. Neither were you when the first X-Men movie came out. But the third one, do I have it here? No, I don't have the third one. The third one came out I think in like 2005. And yeah, those 3 movies are really good.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, X-Men. The first, I would say, like team up movie as well, because the X-Men are like a superhero team.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of paved that way as well. And I truly do not believe we would have the MCU without the X-Men movies. I truly don't. They just because they could show that a bunch of different superheroes and a dynamic can work.
Right. Yeah. Again, another proof of concept. Like, oh, there's something here.
Exactly. Yeah. And Hugh Jackman as Wolverine too, incredible. Ian McKellen as Magneto, incredible. You know, it was just a great movie all around.
Mm-hmm.
But then we get to the big one, and I truly do believe. Oh, sorry, X-Men, the first one, $75 million budget and $296 million box office, by the way. But then we get to the big one. We get to the Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi, 2002 Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people's favorite Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like people will argue that like Spider-Man or the second Spider-Man 2 is the perfect superhero movie.
Mm-hmm.
I am one of those people that would agree with that. But yeah, this did just numbers. I mean, it was $139 million box office. 825 million, or sorry, 139 million dollar budget, $825 million box office. Just you got your money back and then some.
Crushing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
crushing it.
People loved this movie. Like, my goodness. Like, this would probably be, this is like the point where people are like, wow, you can make like a superhero movie that has a really good story too.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have like, and I think Spider-Man is that perfect character of you can see yourself in him as well.
It's kind of weird that it took directors, producers, writers a long time to figure out. It's like the normal basic storylines you use for your normal basic movies. Mm-hmm. Just add superhero elements. Just sprinkle it in there.
No, exactly. Not every, because when you look at a lot of these movies before are end of the world. If the hero doesn't win, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
This is, if the hero doesn't win, it's like the end of their family or their loved ones, or like their it's a lot more personal stakes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spider-Man's usually not fighting end of the world villains in these movies. And it's a more personal story of he knows the villain. Mm-hmm. In every single movie, he knows the villain. So or he has a personal connection to the villain. So it's a lot more nuanced and connected in that story. It's a more personal journey of that story. And this movie actually set a record for a little bit for like opening weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
For the time?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think the record holder now for that is Endgame. But yeah, this is like it was just wild. Right. People loved it.
Once you start getting close to $1 billion, that's pretty serious stuff.
Exactly. No, yeah. And Sam Raimi, too, little fun fact, he was a horror movie director.
Oh.
Before this. You know, The Evil Dead?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he directed those, before and they're like, so it's kind of weird that a horror movie director, directed a superhero movie, and it was one of the best. He directed 3. Mm-hmm. He also directed the second Doctor Strange as well.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he like kind of just destroyed just the expectations people had about superhero movies.
Probably had a pretty good idea of how to make a villain scary and dangerous and gotta fear this guy, you know?
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And you can actually see a lot of elements too, like when Peter is he's like the spider bite, he's like kind of getting like it's transforming his body. There's like the horror movie elements in that. It's kind of like a little bit of like scary. And then so Sam Raimi, cool little fact for you about him. And then we get DC hasn't been talked about a while, so we're gonna talk about it. We got Christian Bale, Christopher Nolan, Dark Knight trilogy. We got the Dark Knight it's Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. 2005, 2008, and 2012. Which, funnily enough, I always assumed these movies came out before the MCU started. I don't know why I thought that in my brain. But The Dark Knight came out the same year Iron Man did.
That I didn't know. Mm-hmm. That's kind of crazy. Those are two pretty big movies to come out the same year.
Yeah. And then The Dark Knight 2008. It was the first superhero movie to hit $1 billion at the box office.
billion, you said?
Yes, $1 billion. I know, and yeah, and actually won 2 Oscars. Heath Ledger did win one of those Oscars. Rest in peace. But yeah, it was just I would go to say I would say Spider-Man 2 is a perfect superhero movie. I think The Dark Knight is almost a just perfect movie.
You're The Dark Knight.
Yes, the
Gotcha.
second one. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I can't remember who are the villains in each. I can never remember which one goes where.
Ra's al Ghul's in Batman Begins, the Joker, the Dark Knight, and then the Dark Knight
Rises is Bane.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
And then that's it's Liam Neeson, Heath Ledger, and Tom Hardy.
Yes, Tom Hardy. Yeah, I can understand why The Dark Knight is considered, a perfect movie, because I think Christian Bale is my favorite Batman personally. Although I really do like what Robert Pattinson did in his, and I'm excited for his next one to come out.
That'd be so good.
But yeah, I think Heath Ledger, he stole it. We all know that he steals the show on that one for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's a shame that he is no longer with us. Now for more happy news, same year as The Dark Knight, we get, you know it, you love it, Iron Man.
I am Iron Man.
Exactly. So
another music reference for Austin. Woo!
So funnily enough, let's exclude Blade from this, but Blade was also a very popular character. So far, these mainstream superhero movies have been about these big, like these proven comic book characters. Everybody knows them: Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, the X-Men. Like, these are all proven. People like them. They're comics. I think X-Men was one of the highest selling comic books of all time at a point and stuff. So they're proven. Iron Man was considered a B-list hero. Like, he wasn't like not known, but he definitely wasn't on that Mount Rushmore of superheroes. Not even close. So Marvel kind of took a gamble with him. They're like, and the Avengers as a whole, actually.
I'd be very curious to know. Well, I don't know if you're going to talk about it at all, but I'm guessing it goes back to, like, maybe they saw, with the X-Men that something like this can work. What if we can, maybe it was like a challenge thing. Like, what if we took this somewhat B-list group of heroes and try to make something out of it? I don't know. It's a really cool challenge, and it worked out
exactly
very well.
I mean, and they took even more gamble with Robert Downey Jr., who was a little bit controversial at the time.
Why is that, Caleb?
You all can look it up. But yeah, this movie had just $1 million more than the first Spider-Man, $140 million. Didn't do as well, $585 million at the box office, but it did enough.
Right.
It did well enough.
Worth a second shot.
And it was the first movie to ever have a post-credit scene that led to another movie,
which is really cool.
Yeah, it's like
very cool.
I know a lot of people are like, "What is this?" Like I know it was a pretty big secret at the time too. Of like we nobody knows what this means. So then you get the other two in here. You get Thor and Captain America.
Which also, about the end credit thing, like, talk about just a genius move.
Oh,
like, okay, it's one thing if people walk away from the movie theater saying, "No, we liked your movie, that was cool," but it's another thing to be like, "What in the hell was that?" And people just keep talking about it.
Well, there's some people would only go see movies just for the post credits,
right? And it's almost, for superhero movies that come out nowadays, a lot of people get bummed out if there's not an end credit scene,
Exactly. So yeah, all these three movies would lead to, you guessed it, the most ambitious movie of its generation, The Avengers in 2012. Austin, when I tell you this movie, I did not know this. This movie, I knew it did well. I didn't know it did a $1.5 billion well.
It's a big number.
That's insane. Like, for 2012, for like a not proven, like nobody had, like this was a huge gamble because nobody had done the heroes meet up like this before in an actual movie.
Well, it's like their only lead up was, so there was 2 Iron Man movies. There was the first Captain America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then was it Thor?
Yes. So there's only 3 movies.
And
I guess there's technically the Hulk movie too, but
yeah.
a lot of people would not consider that an MCU movie as well.
Yeah, it's like okay, 4 movies that introduces a handful of characters. It's like, okay, we're gonna put them all together now.
Exactly. And
okay.
yeah, and so it worked. It worked extremely well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just crazy. Just you take all these heroes that you've seen the movies of, and all their stories lead to this point, and they fight a big bad guy, just like the comics.
Right.
It's just like a comic book movie or comic book.
Mm-hmm. And different than the Spider-Man movie, it goes back to that. If we don't win, then the world ends.
Exactly.
Kind of thing.
Exactly. And I know, yeah, and so that kind of shows a problem here we have later on, which is how the stakes keep having to be raised.
Right. How many times I got to teach you this lesson, old man?
No, exactly. It's like, okay. But at this point, it was crazy. And we're running a little bit low on time here, so I'm going to speed through it a little more. We had Guardians of the Galaxy. This was a crazy movie of like, hey, instead of having all these characters build up, we're going to have one movie and see if we can do that. I think that's more of just James Gunn is a great director, and he was able to do that. Then we have Black Panther in 2018. Huge cultural milestone. This was the first, I think, standalone MCU movie to crack up over $1 billion, which is insane. And Rip Chadwick Boseman as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace. Then we have Avengers Infinity War 2018 and Avengers Endgame 2019. Avengers Endgame is not the highest grow. It was the highest grossing film of all time. That got beat out though. Actually, I can't remember by what, but it did get beat out. So, little fun fact for you.
I remember being very hyped for Endgame.
Oh God, I people were spoiling it, so I skipped school.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Is all the kids that didn't care about it. Like, I know what happens. No, you don't. Shut up.
Yeah. So on the flip side, we have the DCEU, which didn't do the greatest. All right, Man of Steel was all right. Henry Cavill. Then we go into Batman v Superman in 2016. People didn't like it for good reasons.
Which is, it's interesting because you had mentioned previously in the lead up that there's this extensive history of Batman and Superman together, but they kept them apart for so long, and now there's like, okay, here we go, Batman versus Superman. And everybody's like, well, that was kind of lame.
No, yeah, and the whole movie is them fighting when it's like the movie should have been like 20 minutes max of them being enemies.
Yeah.
In like 2 hours. And the rest are friends. And then we had Wonder Woman, female representation. For first actual like good female film. We're not gonna talk about Gal Gadot though. And then we have Aquaman, Jason Momoa, my personal favorite DCU film.
I really enjoyed that
one. It's on that line of, is it the best bad movie or is it the worst good movie?
Right.
It's right on that line of I love it though.
It's Jason Momoa. That's
exactly. And I just think it's fun. And it has Tamara Morrison, who plays Boba Fett.
Oh,
That's his dad, yeah. And Boba Fett's my favorite Star Wars character. All right, then we have the Justice League in 2017, and then we have Zack Snyder's cut in 2021. We don't need to talk about these too much. They didn't do very well.
Yeah.
for like, I mean, they did well in terms of like box office for like, but not even good enough. But yeah, so then we have in between these times we have the Marvel, the MCU, and the DC. Then we have like the Fox kind of universe and the separate universes as well. These movies are the movies that are kind of separate from these MCU and DCU movies. We got Logan in 2017. This was just a kind of a one shot on Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of after all the X-Men movies, what happens. We have Deadpool in 2016. Sorry, I don't know why I mix these up here. Which was the since Blade, the first R-rated movie with Ryan Reynolds. And a funny story about that one wasn't even supposed to be made, but somebody leaked the test footage for it, and the internet wanted it so bad that Fox was like, okay, we'll make a Deadpool movie. And it turned out very well for them.
Yeah, I'd say that was a good call.
If you didn't know, I did not know this until I looked this up. $58 million budget.
It's really not that much.
No. And it grossed $782 million. It's like, hey.
Good investment.
Yeah, you guys did really good, actually. Then we have The Joker in 2019. This is one of the first movies of like that kind of did the villain.
Right.
And it wasn't really a superhero. It was more of like a psychological like thriller, I guess you'd say.
Right.
And it did really well, over $1 billion. And then 2 Oscars, best score, and then Joaquin Phoenix best actor,
Mm-hmm.
even though they didn't want him to win. And then Venom, I forgot to put the date here on when that came out. Do you remember when that came out?
Was it not like in the 20-teens?
Oh yeah, it was sometimes in the late 20-teens.
Yeah.
And basically Venom, anti-hero movie. Venom's kind of a villain, kind of an anti-hero. And this was like the Sony-verse. We're not going to talk too much about the Sony-verse, but
I enjoyed the Venom movies.
yes, the Venom movies, they're more just turn your brain off and watch and have fun.
Tom Hardy, again.
Tom Hardy,
is
yes,
back.
You notice a recurring theme with a lot of characters. As I'll mention here, Ryan Reynolds was Green Lantern in the Green Lantern movie.
Right, which I choose to forget.
Christian Bale was in the newest Thor, Gore the God Butcher. You know, it's kind of flip flopping between these guys here. They kind of appear in a lot of these movies here. So now I was gonna talk about this. We're running a little low on time, so I'm not gonna talk about it that much. We just have a bunch of new movies here, and we're just restarting up the DCU. And I don't know what the MCU is doing. I have no idea what they're doing right now. They just released Fantastic Four, which I thought was really good, but whatever. Okay, now on to the fun facts. All right, where are you? I have it right here. Oh, okay. So, from the MCU films alone, as of 2024, they have grossed over $29 billion.
It's a lot of money.
It's insane. And, 6 of the 10 top highest grossing films ever are superhero movies.
Which shows you how far they came from where they started.
Exactly. No, exactly. And then let's see here. Oh yeah. Avengers Endgame did beat out that. I think it still holds this today. The opening weekend box office record currently of $357 million.
Stupid number.
And then fun fact I didn't know now, over 50% of the total box office, like the money they make, comes from outside of the US, these are mainly United States focused films.
Right. It's a global, worldwide thing.
And then
Guess they did something right.
And then so Marvel films, the average budget, which is kind of cool, is $137 million. And then the average weekend gross profit for Marvel movies are $199 million. So on average, they make up their money
And
in
just
that
in the
weekend.
opening weekend.
Yeah.
It's probably why they keep, for a while there, they're just like, seemed like every handful of months, just boom, movie, boom, movie.
So, yeah. And then these movies have, Marvel and DC have just gone on to do TV shows, more action figures. There's games, like this superhero resurgence has brought a lot of stuff, and I know comics are more popular than ever too because of this.
Not only has it evolved, but it's brought back popularity from the past even.
And then so I just want we're running so we're running a little on time still. To close out, I'm really excited for the DC universe that's coming out, and I have no idea what Marvel's doing, and I am interested in your thoughts on superhero movies and what you think the future holds.
I think my biggest takeaway, the most interesting one to me, is that, DC, like you mentioned at the very beginning, DC, Marvel, those are the big dogs. Those are the main power players. It never seems like, outside of maybe that rare instance when, the MCU was starting and the Dark Knight trilogy was popping off, really just seems like either DCU is on top and Marvel's in the dumps, or Marvel is on top of the world and DC can't get their crap together.
Exactly. And
really weird. I wonder why that is.
I think it's just like a tonal thing of we have these DC movies which are more darker and
I was gonna make that
grittier.
point too. Yeah.
But then when the MCU came out, everybody was looking for these more lighter films.
Michael Bay.
Exactly. But now I will say the DCEU currently, Superman was a very lighthearted film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some parts it was like whatever, but it's very lighthearted. But then the Batman had that dark and grittiness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that now it's just, hey, we've seen these characters for so long, and there's not a whole lot of interesting stories because it's more of like I will say I do love No Way Home, but that is a clip show.
Yeah.
It's a clip,
100%.
it's a reference after reference after reference.
Mm-hmm. It's a movie for the fans that have been around forever.
Exactly. And I love that movie, so don't throw any hate away or whatever, but like it's like that's what it is. It's hey, this is for you. And same with Deadpool and Wolverine. It's a hey, you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you remember this?
Which Ryan Reynolds does so well.
And now they kind of like had to scrap their whole thing, and like they're going into like Doomsday and stuff like that and Secret Wars, which I'm for the first time, or I guess not first time, for the last couple of years, I have not been excited to go see that. Like
yeah,
like the whole reason I was excited to go see Fantastic Four was because it was outside of that MCU.
It hadn't been done in a while.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's interesting that hey, it's kind of disconnected, and that's why I think the DCEU is going to be so popular right now and gain popularity is because they said we're completely rebooting it. It is a new world that we're in.
I think it says a lot that people did enjoy the Superman movie and they did enjoy the Batman. And going back to that, how the different, MCU is flashy and DC is gritty and dark. I think a Batman movie any other way wouldn't hit the same. Like it's Gotham. Batman wears gray and black, Whereas like I think you can take a risk with a Superman movie. I mean, he's blue and red. Kryptonite is green. These are like flashy, bright colors. Like it's okay to.
Those are like the literal primary, or almost the primary colors.
Yeah.
Sorry, yellow instead of green.
So no, it's very interesting. Again, my biggest takeaway is kind of the ebbs and flows of each company, and I don't know. I'm always going to be interested in superhero movies. I agree with the Doomsday thing. Am I going to see it? Probably not. Maybe if I can be convinced, but
yeah. Well, it's like too. So, to segue that Batman one, I do think they haven't done a Batman and Robin movie in a really long time, and I think they need to do that, which they are doing.
They need to do it. They need to, a lot like the MCU in their early years, where every character they introduced, it was the perfect cast every single time. They gotta nail the Robin.
Oh, I know, and I don't know how they're gonna do that. I personally, because I know the Batman movie that's coming out. So I told you there's 4 Robins.
Mm-hmm.
There's Dick Grayson, who's Nightwing, Jason Todd, who's the Red Hood. There's Tim Drake, who's a Red Robin, and then the current Robin is Damian Wayne, Batman's actual like full-blooded son.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all his sons. They're all 3 of them are adopted. And my biggest like fear is that they're gonna skip over Jason and Tim and only have like Dick in there.
Yeah,
but
it'll be exciting. I'm curious to see what they do with it. I've been waiting for this next Batman movie since the first one came out.
Yeah,
I was like, I need more.
So looks like we are doing plenty on time here.
Yeah, we're past time and then some. It's a bit of a longer episode 14 for you out there. So hopefully, if nothing else, if you're on the road or if you're bored at work or wherever, hopefully we could fill up some more time for you. But I think that pretty much wraps up your topic.
Yes, it does. We are done. I also thought about doing this as a 2-parter. I should have done it as a 2-parter.
Well, you get it all in one. This has been episode 14. You can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts. We are on Instagram. We have a TikTok. We're getting into the YouTube Shorts game.
We still are. I haven't made one in a while, but they do take a little bit to make. And I've been busy.
But there will be more coming. Never fear. We're always thinking about you. We always want to provide excellent content that either informs you or makes you laugh, or probably both. So please follow us, like, subscribe, share, let everybody know. Yeah, this is episode 14 of Balls and Blasters. Have a great morning, afternoon, night.
Bye.